So I'm playing a different game, and I'm trying to share with people, get out of this game. Right and wrong, good and bad, good enough, not good enough. Get out of the game. Get out of the story playing where you're being unconsciously dreamed by your belief system to be in these narratives. No, get out of the belief system, the ideas of this, and play the game of be free of these narrative stories and the unconscious autopilot and chicken brain that would have us be dreamed by them. That's my
One interesting observation, Gary, if I may share.
sure.
So I was watching the Olympics gold medal finals this morning, and Djokovic wins, and the interviewer asks, okay, now is it all the, I'm just rephrasing it, but are all the pieces of the puzzle now solved? Now that you won everything that you have to win and you won the gold medal now from the Olympics. And I was thinking, I would have been ecstatic and said yes, over, with no doubt in my mind, but he still feels unsure. He said, yes, of course. I mean, he's great. He does everything right. He does. But why he had the platform in front of the world to say, yes, I have completed, but still you have the opportunity to do more things. But at that point, say, yes, I achieved. I'm happy. And that's what I think myself, even if I did the smallest of the things, I repaired something, that was the screw that was not going in. I fixed it. I get the gratification, which I was not getting. And that makes me really happy. And that happiness, why somebody who has achieved so much is not able to tell the world that, yes, I did it. I'm happy about it. Is there something still lacking, or is it because I want to achieve more? Why do people do that?
Okay, you see many examples of this. People who have massive success in the external world, and they're not satisfied. Massive success with money, massive success with, they can win an Olympic gold medal. You think of performers, movies, Grammys. Okay, love their music, love their performances, adore them, think they're the greats, admire them. That's their outside dream. And we think, oh, if they have all that, they must feel good. This kind of chicken brain logic, right? Because, okay, the inside dream is the story you have in your inside world. And the story in your inside world is maybe not changed because you won an Olympic gold medal, or you won a Grammy, you won an award, right? The inside dream is, who am I? What am I? What are my emotions coming from, right? If my autopilot belief system is still saying, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I still feel this not good enough feeling from when I was bullied and afraid what other people think of me, and I might lose the next one, and then I'll just be another loser. I live in fear, I live in shame, I live in unworthiness, right? I win a gold medal, but my mind is in the future. Oh, my next tournament. I know people who are runners, and they would say, oh, you're only as good as your last race, right? So they could have all these wins, but the last race they came in second, I'm a loser. And the next race, they're like, I got to win or else I'll be a loser. Somebody who trades in the financial markets, she would say, oh, you're only as good as your last trade. Oh, I've won this moment, but boy, here's the pressure. The next trade, the next deal I have to do, it has to be a win too, or else I'm a loser, right? So this I'm a winner, I'm a loser is still the autopilot narrative of the belief system, deciding I'm a winner or loser, I'm a failure, I'm a success. And it's thy internal dream story, narrative, identity is still, I still feel the pressure of the next one and the next one. And tomorrow I can't rest either, because the next race, trade, sale is on the line, and I have my self-worth attached to that. And it's not even decided by me. It's decided by my autopilot program of beliefs, the critical voice in my head, the judge narrative, right? We've given up our power over our self-worth and our worthiness to the narrator voices in our head, in our internal dream. And this is why we don't feel good enough, and we don't feel satisfied and fulfilled, even if in the external world we win gold medals, have $1 billion, and the most wonderful partner in relationship. None of that is really as strong as determining our emotional self, what we feel, as our inside belief system and narratives that come from that. Okay.
That's really well said. I mean, yeah, it's, I said, I mean, I went through many, many years of, dissatisfaction despite my successes, and say, you know what, I told myself, hell with it, I'm going to enjoy this. I enjoy these small moments, and that's where it gives me joy. And when the bigger moments come, I will enjoy it, because otherwise, what else? I don't want somebody else to tell me this is what your joy will be. I have to tell myself this is my joy. So that's helped. That's helped a lot. And this was not the case when I started taking of the course the first time, but over the years it has helped a lot.
So the solution to your happiness is awareness of this inside autopilot belief system and narrator that we've abdicated power to over our self-worth, and get our power back from it and dismantle it. This chicken brain that we built in our childhood, dismantle it. Okay. Here's one of the fundamental chicken brain foolishness things we structured, and I did it for years. And if you listen to the first podcast I talk about this belief I discovered that I wasn't good enough. Like, I really have this unconscious belief I'm not good enough, and this is 2 years into the work. All right, so I had to clean up a lot of fears, a lot of false beliefs and self-judgment. And then I find this one, it's like, I fundamentally believe I'm not good enough, right? And what does my chicken brain try to do? It's like, well, what can I do to be good enough? Right? And it's like, don't change the autopilot. Try to come up with how to take control and steer it over here, right? Oh, I'll do these things to be good enough, right? Well, if I found the cure for cancer, my internal narrator is like, why didn't you find it earlier? Look at all the people that died while why it took you so long to find the cure for cancer. I was like, I find a cure for cancer. My inner critic saying I'm still not good enough. Wow, this is a tough guy to satisfy. Okay, but we do this in searching for peace, fulfillment, our internal happiness. To get a hold of our inside narration, we try to be good enough and better and smart and good looking and wise and respected when spiritual, right? And we try to avoid being not spiritual and angry and suffer and stupid and bad and anything that people will judge and failure, right? So we try to be all these things and avoid these things. And we say, oh, I'm good, this is bad. And we leverage our mind with good and bad. Right? We have to do everything to be good. We have to avoid everything that's bad. And this looks like the challenge in life. Be good, be success, avoid failure, avoid being bad, don't do anything wrong. You be judged, feel guilty for. And society tells us what's good. Other people tell us what's good. Parents, teachers, clergy, right? Spiritual teachers. Oh, this is how you'll be good. Avoid being bad. These are all the things that's bad, like teachers and clergies. And then we have our internal narrator tell us, oh, these are all the things you're bad. Don't be those things. Be all these good things, right? And we're in this battle. And here's the chicken brain part. This is a story, a made-up narration of what you are that we've given value to. This is a story, a made-up narration of all the things that are abstract ideas that you're putting yourself into and saying that's your value. The story sets up this tension between good and bad, which are both stories. Okay? If I lose the tennis match, I'm not a loser. I just lost a tennis match. Okay? If I give a bad talk, I'm not a failure. I just had a bad talk. If I get angry, I'm not a bad person. Okay? I'm not no longer spiritual. I no longer have a soul. And I'm no longer going to hell. Like, those are stories. But we're in this game of, here, I have to do all of these things and meet all of these requirements so that this is the story about me, and that one wins, and this bad one loses. And we're in this struggle. I have to win the next race, the next trade, the next sale. And the pressure, so that I can talk this way about myself in the story, and no one talks this way about myself in the story. And we think that this, I can be more spiritual over here and less spiritual over here. And this is the pathway to happiness, and we'll be happy in our life if we're just perfect. Right? Spiritually perfect, physically perfect, money perfect, athletic perfect, right? But what's described as perfect is made up with words and a story of perfect. Well, stories are made up. Most people are playing this game. We call it winner and loser, good and bad, good and evil, any of that. Most people are playing this game, spiritual, not spiritual, enlightened, not enlightened. Same thing. Oh, I want to be enlightened. That'll be awesome. Oh, I'm not enlightened. Oh, I'm a loser. Both are stories. Now, there's another game that I play, which is control the story and don't believe the story. Don't put myself inside a story where I'm dreamed in within a narrative. Put myself in awareness and consciousness, be awake and say, oh, that thing to try and be good enough and perfect and lovable and spiritual, enlightened, that's a story. The fear and the story about being unenlightened and ignorant and not spiritual and a failure, and that's a story. So I'm in the game of don't believe the story. And now I have freedom. And I'm not defined by these concepts and ideas that are the big trap. Instead, I look at the concepts and ideas and I'm like, yeah, I'll change this one and move that one around. I'm controlling the story, changing the story, not believing the story, dissolving the story, and creating one as I will. And generally, like, most stories are a waste of time, so just dissolve them, don't believe them. Unless there's a purpose and usefulness to communicate, right? So I'm playing a different game and I'm trying to share with people, get out of this game. Right and wrong, good and bad, good enough, not good enough. Get out of the game. Get out of the story playing where you're being unconsciously dreamed by your belief system to be in these narratives. No, get out of the belief system, the ideas of this, and play the game of be free of these narrative stories and the unconscious autopilot and chicken brain that would have us be dreamed by them. Be free. That's the game. Doesn't matter what they say. There's not a sentence you can say that's truth. Because all sentences are made of words and all words are concepts and abstractions. They're not true. All of them. There's certainly words and what can be described, you're like, that's bit of there, that's guiding you to truth. There's wisdom in that, to see something as truthful. But certainly to say I'm enlightened or I'm not enlightened, I'm spiritual, not unspiritual, I'm good, I'm guilty, I'm sad, I'm a loser, I'm fake. Those concepts about believing that I'm those abstractions, oh, absolutely, chicken brain nonsense garbage. That's not truth at all. No one is anything close to having those concepts describe them. This is a complete lie. So get out of that game and play the one of where you control the concepts instead of them controlling how you feel about yourself. So that's the game to play, where you can be free and you can be happy.
Extremely well said. Extremely well said. Yes. When I had a choice when my friend was here seeking help, and I had a choice between being punctual to this meeting at 12 to seek help from you versus giving my own help where possible to my friend. She was here seeking help. I said, what do I do? Do I be, do I look good being punctual, or do I look better being of help? I said, okay, I'll be late. Okay, I'll choose to be late. But thankfully, I benefited from both.
Yeah, I'll practice that until it's so automatic. You do it all day. And you're free all day. Okay, so your homework. Step into the other game. Step into the other game where you're free of the concepts and ideas of word labels. And what I'm inviting you to is a lot, but it's also life-changing. And it's where you're free of suffering. Okay.